Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna and today we're visiting with Dr. Carrie Knott. She's with the University of Kentucky, Extension Grain Crop Specialist there. Good morning, Carrie.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm glad you're here because, you know, as you drive along the highways in South Central, Western Kentucky, you're seeing the corn and all the crops, and they're looking great.
Yeah, this year we've started off strong, and I think at this point we're still really good and have a great optimistic year ahead of us. You know, we started off a little wet. So unfortunately, you know, that can be too much of a good thing. We do think that some people maybe push the envelope a little, so to speak, and maybe mud it in or put in the corn when it was a little heavy, the soil conditions. So we are watching for sidewall compaction and some other things, but at this point, we've had enough rain, we've had warm temperatures. The corn and the soybeans are both a little bit ahead of schedule, the 5-year average, and so it's been a great year so far.
And you know, I think when you were here the last time we talked about it, some of the soybeans actually got planted earlier than we usually get those planted in the state of Kentucky. So we were kind of wondering how that would all play out, but so far so good.
So far so good. I only heard some isolated incidences where those plantings had to be replanted, but overall those early plantings are in, they're looking good, they've had enough rain. And in terms of soybeans, we're not hearing any problems, nothing. It's
almost creepy, right?
That's what I was going to say. It's really scary how quiet it is. In corn, there's a little chatter about some diseases, but I talked to Dr. Kirsten Wise this morning, and she says that, you know, everything looks good. She's been out in fields, she's been up in helicopters, putting on fungicides in corn with some producers in the area, and she said the conditions look great. Right now we're at blister in corn, which is a growth stage, which means we're getting very safe in terms of not having to worry about diseases anymore, and so that's a great thing.
Yeah. Now I know, like, sometimes people are concerned with the amount of heat and water. Those are the two things that we're sometimes concerned with, but you know, we've had isolated pockets of heavy rain, but not widespread.
No, and I think there might be some pockets of drouthy conditions as well. I was hearing maybe Wayne County and some other places are really dry. But in terms of overall the entire state, we've gotten plenty of rain. Some of the really heavy instances, like in Princeton, we had 2.5 inches in an hour and a half.
Oh my, yeah.
So in those instances, 2.5 inches didn't go into the soil profile. It's not going to be available to the crop, but we got some in. Right now, our biggest concern is the temperatures. Corn pollination, high temperatures aren't always best friends, and so we do want producers to keep an eye out for any poor pollination problems. Conversely, you know, high nighttime temperatures can really affect yield and lower that yield in corn, and so right now our concerns are only very low in corn, but it's worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, the unfortunate part of that is there's nothing
we can't do anything about it, right? We can't
like disease, things like that, we can scout and maybe do some preventatives and things like that. But the heat, I know, was a lot of concern because of those high nighttime temperatures. We just have no relief for it, and we have that in that. But you know, you mentioned checking for pollination problems, but as far as anything we can do,
there's no savior. It's just being informed and not being surprised at the end of the year when you pull that combine in. That's the biggest thing, right?
Yeah.
So
I know that there's like reports about crop conditions and things like that. Where can people go to find out more information?
Well, the USDA has a national website, which is where I always look, and it's as simple as Googling Kentucky crop conditions, and that's the first thing that'll come up. And so that'll give you a lot of information. And
you guys have a grain crops website that you keep people updated about different events and things going on. What's that website?
It's kygrains.info.
Okay. And so people can go there. Can they subscribe? Is it a blog type situation or a website?
Unfortunately, it's a website. It's not a subscription like a blog, but please go on there as often as possible. We get a lot of information out that way.
Absolutely. So you can go bookmark that, and so you can keep up to date with things that are actually going on right here in Kentucky, because a lot of our corn information comes from the western states, but we have all this great information right here localized in the state of Kentucky. So Carrie, I appreciate you coming and visiting with us today. Give us this update, and if you have any questions, make sure to contact your local extension office, and if we don't know, we can call Dr. Carrie and find out pretty quickly for you. So we appreciate you watching today on the Farm and Home Show, and we hope that you have a great day. If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.